Hello, this is Vance, and this is Sunday evening, November the 5th, 2017. These are CL trades for today using the slow hand method for price action. Had a bit of problem last week. Well, since last Wednesday I was on for a real brief, showed a kickoff. Thursday I recorded some video, and then I had some type of computer glitch. It kind of wiped out all my videos for Camtasia, and I didn't recover them. It was just, by the time I got them to recover, I did recover them. To go back is kind of late, so I didn't bother doing that. However, I do have a demonstration trade, which I'll show a little bit later with regard to Friday, and I've got Friday up here right up on the screen here that you're seeing, and really and I'll just go over quickly what Friday had really shown. In the first, I got in on a trade early in the morning, which is at 9 o'clock, just at 9 right here. And I was able to get in because it was below the low of the day. I had this was the first of the low. And I got into a trade here just before the open, kind of bailed down, got my first contracts off, moved my stop to break even, and got taken out. And unfortunately, that was the demonstration trade. So I only got one contract, 15 ticks. I was expecting it to perhaps even break out higher, but it didn't. It rotated back down, took me out at break even with my second two contracts. But I'll show that. I've got that recorded. For the rest of the day, what happened was that you can see that really at the bottom here, and I'll just kind of show it to you, is that prices really bounced along around 54, 56. We had the bounce here, kind of recovery, bounced, and then it took a little bit of dip lower, made its way down to 54.40, and then we had really kind of a turnaround. And I was thinking that the prices would really retest what we had seen for the previous highs at just before 9 o'clock, or right at 9:30, and price did make it there. But then from then on, for the rest of the day, it really took off, and in particularly after 1:30, it continued up, which is kind of rare. You don't usually see pricing of move up, and it moved up probably about $1.50 to the end of the day. There was a lot of demand that moved up. I don't know what any news that would have driven it that high on Friday afternoon. I wasn't really paying any attention to it at that point in time because I was finished for the day. But it was kind of rare. It's a rare event when we have that much movement late in the day. So what I was looking at here is that I thought that we could revisit this area, which we did, in fairly short order by about 12:30. And so I was really done by about noon, or by about 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And this kind of bunched up here, but then price really found some support and kind of even move up much higher. And so you can see that it was really unbridled for the rest of the day. Now it's Sunday night, and we're at $56. The high is now $56. It's pulled back down. So the price of oil has been pretty strong. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow morning. I'll wait for the overnight to see how that transpires. But that was really briefly. I apologize for the fact that last Wednesday, Thursday, I had the problems with the computer. Didn't really have that, so I'm going to try to get post a couple times this week to kind of show what I'm going to be thinking of, and I likely will in the overnight kind of post an early morning thing tomorrow morning, see where prices are heading. Certainly above $50 a share, $50 a barrel as far as oil is right now. Why that has transpired is the geopolitical issues that are coming up or something. I'm not really. It'll take me time to kind of think about it. I haven't really thought about it all weekend because I've been kind of busy. But again, I'll be looking at it first thing in the morning. It's going to take me a little while to get back into the swing of things again. So I know there's been a thank you for getting in touch with me and wondering when I'm going to be back on a regular basis. And I hopefully will do that over the next little while. And I've had some other issues that I've been dealing with. But apart from that, we'll see how it goes. So if you have any questions, let me know. This is Vance. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Hello, this is Vance, and this is Friday, November the 3rd, 2017. These are the CL trades for today using the slow hand method for price action. Got a demonstration trade on here. 3 contracts, 15 tick stop below the daily low. It's 5 minutes before the open. we've had rotation up. We almost hit $55 yesterday, as far as actually we did overnight. 55.03, which is kind of a high watermark that we've had over the last little while. I mean, if you look back, this is we had it on the 1st, where prices got above $55. Kind of had, this is on Wednesday, prices trended down, came back up. Now, I had some videos for Wednesday, because I did an early morning thing for Wednesday, but I lost the videos. My computer reset, and before I had a chance to save them, they didn't go into recovery. It's unfortunately I don't have the videos for that. So I've got a couple other things I'm going to have to kind of figure out something else. So this is the first trade of the day. This is the first demo trade of the day that I'm doing. So I figured I put this one in. Now, let's go over the reasoning that I've got this particular trade on here. If you see this, I look at this as really kind of let me kind of draw in on this. And I said we're 4 minutes away from the open. Right here, I see as support, and this is just maybe a little bit of an overshoot, but I see that kind of a first entry, second entry, but it's not a really good bar. Price is scaled up, pulled back, limited in, and I'm going to sit down. Now, if price gets down to here, obviously it's a failed trade. But I think we're going to rotate back up to this area, perhaps test this area right here, and at least get the first contract off. And then, of course, by the time I get there, I move my stop to break even, and then look at it probably going higher after that. So that's where my thoughts are right now, especially when we've already peaked out these areas right here. We've had some highs. Now this is more closer to the open. So we'll see what buyers do at 9 o'clock when prices come up. So I'm just going to go ahead and wait on this. It's getting a little deep in this area. Might get taken out, but we'll see what the bounce happens, and hopefully the buyers will step in and take prices higher. So we'll just leave it go to the way it is. I'm prepared to take the loss on these three contracts based on the fact that I'm looking at prices going higher. For today. After yesterday, and I'll talk a little bit about this later on, especially toward later on yesterday afternoon as prices broke out of that tight range and moved its way up. So I think that's a reasonable assumption at this point. And let it go. Okay, we get about 1 minute, and you can see these bars. This area here earlier on was rejection. I think this is rejection. I mean, I don't like these two bars down here like this. It doesn't look so good, but at this point in time, I'm gonna hang with this trade. I'm below the low of the day. I mean, this could come flash down there and blow me right out. It can. So I'm just gonna sit here and wait for it. I mean, I think it's reasonable, and then look at rising right at the open here. Okay, it's 9:02. Looks like some buyers stepped in on this bar. Still waiting and seeing. Didn't like this deepness here. Of course, it makes you kind of sweat, but whatever. Can't predict the future perfectly. I guess I could have had set my buy one tick below this one, giving me a little bit more breathing room, and I would have probably been at break even right now. So that's something to think about. But you can't cut it that fine. It's impossible. You just have to play the risk. Look at risk versus reward in trading. And I'll talk a little bit about that later on. But always remember your steps as far as taking the trade is concerned. Great. Above the entry price. Move up a couple ticks. I mean, if price comes back down here, it takes some risk off the table. If price comes back down here, it's kind of a failed trade. And I mean, fact is that once it gets about 10 ticks, where are we right now? Entry is 69, 10 ticks is 79, one tick off. I was kind of rotating around this area. As I said, I've got some. I mean, if price comes back down here, I view it as a failed trade. Look for another entry. Again, had I gotten in below this one, it would have been a lot better. But I mean, it's kind of like a blind entry. Mac does talk about this. Now he likes to, and he's done that on a number of occasions, is to enter one tick below what he looked at as support. And his idea is that if you see things like this area here stack up, to enter one tick below area of previous support. and based on the ES and based on the movement there. I think the CL moves a lot faster than the ES, and therefore I'm not as I've in my experience that type of entry isn't as relevant in the CL as it is with the ES, but it shares some similarities, and so that's why there's a little bit of a modification as far as my opinion is concerned with regard to the CL. If you base trading on like the previous high, the most recent price action, and because we're price action traders, if I look at this previous high at this area at 54.75, I say that would be kind of a previous mark, and so prices have to come up and get above that and hold there in order to get somewhat higher. So to make a run at these other areas. So I'm going to be looking very carefully at that. Now, I would prefer to see prices get up to 79. Had I got to 79 and move my stop to break even, I'd be out of this trade right now. But as it turns out, it's not that way. So I'm stuck with it for the time being. Like I mentioned, above 75, and I got a hold. So we kind of touched on that. It's not really quite holding yet. So maybe I can probably move this up a little bit. Actually, I would suspect that I could even move it up to break even. It's close enough as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it's got to move on this one. If it comes back down there, it's really stuck in a rotation. Okay, that's first contract off. Great, took a while to get there. Actually, 28 minutes. A little bit longer than I would have liked, but hey, as long as we're making progress, that's the main thing. So I'm going to hang on, see what we do see if we can take out the second contract at $55, making a salt above there, and let it go. Okay, that's it. Got taken out at my entry price. So I'm going to wait for another trade, see how that transpires, and then go from there. So that's it for now. If I think of anything else or think of anything of interest, I'm not finished for today. I'm going to look at doing some other, put some other trades on. It's certainly not finished because it's still early, but we'll see how it goes. Maybe there'll be another entry as price approaches the low of the day. I'll see how it transpires right now. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. This is Vance. Bye for now.